Yo, what is up guys, Shinobi here back again with another video for you guys, and today ladies and gentlemen we're back again with another reaction. Today we're talking about apparently how the community right now for Sparky Zero is actively killing the game, or how it might be killing the game or something like that. And I've been seeing a lot of conversation around this, especially considering all the recent controversy, considering that they just nerfed Yajirobe, so it takes him 6 skill points in order to get all his HP back now, instead of it being, what is it, 2, and I'm pretty sure he starts out with a certain amount of health now and all this other different stuff. And there's a lot of outrage around that because a lot of people want the game to stay the way it was, because obviously Budokai, the game was never meant to be balanced, so there's that. But that's all. I digress. Me personally, I haven't had too much experience with the community, just due to the fact that I kind of just been making my own custom battles and whatnot, and because Xbox servers are still cooked, so I haven't been able to really touch online yet, and I haven't really met anybody else on Xbox yet. So for anybody on Xbox, if you're down to play, I don't know what your guys' time zone is, because I'm in a completely different time zone than I'd normally be if I was in the States right now. Then hit me up and we could probably set something up, because I have literally been practicing playing Taipon and Trunks, and I have had no way to practice my skills against. So if y'all down, maybe we can make some content out of that. Maybe we should just chill. I don't know. But either way, gonna take a look at this video. Should be a pretty interesting topic. Especially considering that games like this and games like Storm 4 technically aren't competitive at all. They're supposed to be party games, but a lot of people take them really seriously. Which, I mean, it's okay to be competitive, but there's no money on the line. There's really no stakes. You're not really going to get anything from being the best Storm player or the best Sparking Zero player. In fact, honestly, if I'm going to be keeping it a stack, it'd been better if the community just, was making fun content with each other as far as I'm concerned. But I digress. I've seen Afro Senju and the rest of them cooking, so I'm happy with at least that. But let's go ahead and check out what this guy's got to say, and we'll go over it.
So Dragon Ball Sparking Zero has been out for just about 2 weeks, and already I can see the videos
Oh boy, the
talking about
Gogeta
the
4.
state of the game.
I don't know what it is, and maybe I'm not the only one who sees this, but every single time I've seen a Gogeta player against somebody who's played maybe some regular characters, it's either the Gogeta, it's like any of the fusion characters, pretty much, like the Gogetas, the Super Gogeta, or the Vegetos, or hell, UI Goku, and sometimes even Jiren. For some reason, it's those characters, or you play against them. I've seen it where you'll play against them, and as soon as as soon as they're in a disadvantage, or as soon as they're looking like they're about to lose, I don't know what it is, but they just completely quit. They just disconnect completely. I don't know what it is with all the rage quitting, especially for playing a character like that, because Gogeta can insta spark, and there's a bunch of he's a completely busted character. I don't know what's up with that, and I heard that Bandai's trying to fix that, because obviously for ranking, how you supposed to rank up if you got people rage quitting against you, you basically just wasted time there. But I don't know. That's just me though. That people are just obsessed with winning with this game. I don't know why. Like, you're not gonna get anything special for being number one, other than just bragging points to say that you're number one. Nobody's really giving a crap about being number one in Sparking Zero, other than people who are probably cloud chasing, which hilariously enough I've seen a lot of, especially on TikTok. And then when they go and actually fight the person who's good, and they're playing one of these fusions characters, it's just funny as hell when they get beat, and then they try and make all the excuses or disconnect, and it's funny. I don't know. It's funny as hell, especially when they're losing to a character like Dr. Willio or one of the giant characters. That shit is funny as hell. I digress, though.
The developers overtuned it, and if things should be patched, and just how bad the game is right now, and I gotta say, I completely disagree.
Alright, let's see what this guy's got to say, because I'm pretty curious about the state of the community right now.
That I think the devs need to fix is a DP system, unblockable ultimates, and characters using after image getting their skill point while it's active.
And honestly, I feel like one thing that could be talked about as far as after image is it should cost more skill points to do, and it shouldn't last as long as it does. I'm pretty sure as of right now, after image strike, um, basically it's for those of you guys who don't know, which I'll be surprised if you don't know what it does. It basically allows you to dodge without having really to use your defensive options like you normally have to do, like the sonic sway and whatnot. It's basically a free cheat code to dodging, so you don't have to try as hard, and it only costs you like 2 skill points. And even while you're using it right now, as far as I know, it lasts 15 seconds, and you can still get skill points while you're actively using it. So you can basically spam it over and over. And the only way to really get around that is to just spam key blast at them while they're doing it, and then somehow catch them while they have low skill points. But even then, it's still pretty tough. So I know there's a lot of people out there that use it as a crutch, especially with some of the stronger characters. But I digress. I feel like that should be something that's nerfed. And I know that, once again, I talked about it early in the beginning of this video, that there's not supposed to be really nerfs or anything like that, and we don't really want a lot of nerfs, because then at that point it's not even Budokai anymore, and this game's not meant to be competitive. It's meant to just be a party game. But I digress.
That's it.
There's
And
some
I say that
things
because
that
everybody's
it's just
taking
gotta.
shots at the company, everybody's complaining about the game, but nobody's really looking at the community. And that's the real reason the game is in its current state. There's 3 types of players online in Sparking Zero right now. If you hop online, you'll
All right, and I'm gonna name these players off, and maybe I'm cooking here, maybe I'm not. It's got to be the veterans, so the old people who've been playing the game since Budokai Tenkaichi 1, so they're mostly just jumping in there with the most random combinations of characters. They're not even really going to meta, they're kind of just choosing whoever the hell they wanted, or whoever they were using back then, which is why you'll see some crazy stuff. Then you got the people who are just playing just to screw around. Those are the players where you'll see them fight, and then after that you'll see them fly across the map, and then start charging. You'll do beam clashes. They'll rematch you, all that good stuff. You know, basically the guys are just there to have fun. And then you got the sweats, aka the new gens, who came from probably Xenoverse or something, or were playing Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and those are the people that you'll be seeing playing the Gojitas, the Vegetos, the Yajirobis, all the cheese stuff, the timeout characters like the androids, and they'll do anything to win. And the instant they start losing, especially if they're playing a fusion character, they will disconnect because they cannot have their rank at stake. Which is why right now a lot of the people are even bothering to care about rank right now, or care about the ranking right now, because a lot of the people who do play ranked, I won't see all of them, but a lot of the people who play ranked, especially if they play a fusion character or any of the OP characters in this game, the main reason they're up there is because currently right now there is no penalty for disconnecting the game. So if they're playing something like Gogeta, Vegeta, or anything like that, and they're on the top of the leaderboard, it's most likely 9 times out of 10, I would have to say, because they basically beat all the people that they did, and the people that they were losing against, they disconnect against. And because you don't lose anything from disconnecting, they stay on the top. Now, I know that Bandai, once again, is planning on adding a ban system, so we'll see those rankings change a lot more, even though rank really doesn't matter that much, but especially right now, it don't mean nothing, because disconnecting is just so freaking common right now, apparently, that it's not even funny. There's like whole memes generated around it, but once they implement this ban thing, we'll see how that looks. I feel like we're going to start seeing a lot more unpredictable characters at the top of the leaderboards, because those are the guys who usually actually know how to play the game. They know their options, they know how their character works, and they don't rely on the OP stuff. But I digress.
you'll fight the first type of player. These are the guys who probably grew up on Tenkaichi. These are the guys who you'll hop online, you'll see their team makes no sense.
Yep.
And it's probably
There'll
group
be like a bunch
characters.
of
And these are the guys
crazy
who
stuff.
rematch you, guys who beam clash. I mean, yesterday I literally had a guy in the middle of the match fly across the map, fully charged, waited for me, I waited for him, and we just beam clashed. And then we rematch. He lost, that's fine. I lost the second set, and then we kept playing over and over. And it wasn't about winning, it was about the enjoyment.
And that's how the game should be. It should be about enjoying the game. I understand that obviously there's those competitive people out there, which is fine, but I don't know what happened, but it's just been crazy out here. Like, there's been so much cloud chasing, so much beefing, and a whole bunch of nonsense with this game ever since it's come out, because everybody out here is trying to be the #1 Sparking Zero player and trying to claim that title, which is alright, but some people are taking this shit way too serious, like there's money on the line or something. It's kind of nuts.
There's the second type of player. These are what I call the new gens.
Yep.
These are the players that started coming up around PS3 and they have no idea what it's like to actually have fun, but they only
The
care about
Xenoverse
three
kids,
letters:
bro.
WIN. These are the players who started the wave of the androids, the Dr. Wheelos, the Gogetas.
These were the ones that came into like Storm 4. Like if any of them played Naruto and Ninja Storm, this would be like the equivalent of the Storm 4 online Datara and Minato spammers. And y'all know what we was talking about. Because the Wi-Fi service and the freaking netcode was so ass that you could get away with just basically spamming those characters, especially if the person playing against them didn't know what to do. Like, bro, Minato was cracked online for that exact reason because the netcode was just that ass. So you couldn't even react to a lot of the crap he could do, and it was nuts. Same with Data, he just sit back and do some crazy nonsense. And then he had like one other crazy character on the team, and then the support would be some nonsense. That's basically the equivalent of the Gogeta, the Vegetos, the freaking UIs, the after image strike spammers. That's basically it in a nutshell. And if they start
The
losing, they will
UIs, the
disconnect.
fusions, they're the reason why ranked is cooked right now. And I gotta be honest, I wasn't even gonna make this video, but the reason I did is because unfortunately it's starting to spill into player match as well. And at that point, I said, everybody's asking the wrong questions and not really giving the right answer because everybody's looking at the company and saying, well, you gotta fix your product, patch this, but nobody's looking at the real problem, which is the active community. And that brings us to the
Speaking
third type of
facts.
player: the people who are good at the game, or the people who want to play who they want but they can't and are tired of it. So they go and do the same thing that player type 2 is, which is picking fusions, the Gogetas, the UIs, the crazy headcrack characters that give you the easy win streaks. And that's what we have right now in Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. The three types.
Also, I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of the Gogetas in them, they like to spam for some reason the perception. And I don't know about you, but me personally, if I see them spamming perception, I'm going in and grabbing. I don't know about you. I'm either throwing a key blast at them, a blast at them. I'm doing something. But a lot of them like spamming perception. I've seen that a lot recently.
Of player base fighting for the number one spot. Now, when it comes to player base type 2,
Oh,
the
look at that.
people
He's
who
literally
are
doing it right there.
PS3 babies
He's
and
literally
really
doing it
don't
right there. He's just
know how to
spamming
enjoy
perception.
themselves, that's not everybody. That's majority, though. Most of these guys hop online and they don't care how they win. They'll exploit, they'll grab you the whole match with an android, they'll time you out with a Yantarubi, they'll spam you with non-stop level 3s until you die. These are that type of player base. Understand, I don't completely blame you guys. I will say, however, it is 80% your fault and your responsibility for playing this way. So I gotta say right now in the video, if you are the player who is hopping online, playing UI every match, Gogetas, you are a
Yeah, no, it's basically the list right here. This is literally UI Goku, Awakened Jiren, Z Broly, which I honestly forgot about. The basically any of the fusions. I don't know about Kefla, I'm not gonna lie, because Kefla is kind of valid. Oh, there's Dr. Willio. Never mind. I didn't think I'd even see him on here. I don't know about Android 19 and Beerus. I mean, obviously the androids are annoying, but the ones I've seen a lot of, honestly, it's just been the top six right there. UI Goku, Awakened Jiren, Z or Legendary Super Saiyan Broly from like the movie, so Super Broly 2, and then as any of the fusions. Kefla, I can kind of respect Kefla a little bit, but after that it's like Dr. Willio. He's just a meme. Giants are easy to beat. It's just that a lot of the people who play characters like the ones above don't know how to deal with them because they're so used to playing against the Gogetas. So a lot of the nonsense that they would do normally doesn't work against like the heavy characters. Android 19 or any of the androids for that matter can be beat. It's just annoying to deal with them, but I wouldn't call them like the meta, but they're kind of up there if you want to stall. I mean, the Yajirobe thing kind of got patched though, so who knows. And Beerus, I don't know why he's on this list because me personally, he's not even an honorable mention because his ultimate, if you're just standing in front of him, it could literally just miss. So I don't know why he's even there. I don't consider him the tryhard in my opinion, but a lot of this is also, keep in mind, not the DP battles. This is all in singles, so honestly, take this all with a grain of salt. But if you're a big person who likes doing single battles, then this might actually concern you. Maybe not. I don't know.
dirtbag. You are a Sherm. And truthfully, I hope these characters would get fixed. But I also know that's not the dev's vision, and I wouldn't necessarily want that because then it wouldn't be Tenkaichi anymore. It wouldn't be
Literally.
Sparking anymore. But you guys are the problem. You're the reason why the game is in its current state. So I hope you're proud. Stand proud. You did well. You're cooking the game actively, and if this keeps up, there won't be too much of a community left over time. The reason I say this is because I've already seen this movie before. If you guys have played Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm,
Oh,
you
here
guys
we
already
go.
know how toxic that
Yep.
community is.
The
The game
Minatoes
is
and
never
everything.
taken seriously or never brought to a competitive place, not because necessarily it can't be, and I'm one of
And honestly, from what I've heard, Storm Connections is even worse. Because how the game works is it's even more rushdown heavy than Storm 4 is. Because you can chain a lot of the combos, so I think they fixed a lot of the stuff that they did, where you could pick somebody up by throwing kunai on them when they're on the ground, and then continue your combo. I think they took that out. As of recent, I haven't really been keeping up with the game because I didn't buy it, because they did really bad on the story mode and they completely screwed up all the boss battles, so it was just a hell no for me. But and on top of that, the online was completely cooked. Like the fact that you couldn't even play with your friends on day one, and they had to add that through a DLC, and it was just a whole lot of nonsense, bro. The game was cooked from like the jump. But yeah, no, this game, from what I've heard, it has some interesting things. But I heard that got really, really crazy, and it's like Storm 4, but even more sweaty. It's like even more nuts. But I digress.
the people who stand by. It's a party game. It can't be competitive, right? I think if you put money on a game, that's fine. That doesn't make it competitive. But the reason why it's never pushed is just because of how exploitations and ludicrous a lot of the player base plays. Nobody plays neutral. If you hop online right now in connections at any point in time, you'll fight a Kari, a Tamari, and a third crazy support. That's all you play 24/7. And it's just a player base that refuses to learn the game. There's 100 plus characters, and they
Shit, it could be
refuse to
worse. It could have
improve
been the
themselves
Minato, bro.
or make anything
Storm
past
4, Minato
being
was
god mode, which
everywhere. And I
essentially
love
are if you
Minato,
pick the
but
characters
shit,
that
that man
give
was
you a 99%
everywhere.
win rate. And that's what's kind of happening right now in the Sparking Zero community, which is very unfortunate, but I predicted would happen. If you guys are a fan of mine or have been around me long enough and have watched any of my old streams or videos, you guys know that I've talked about this before the game came out, and while everybody was hyping it up, don't get me wrong, I'm excited. I love Sparking Zero. This is my baby. I was making it very adamant that yes, the game is going to be beautiful. Yes, the game is going to be fun. But a lot of people are glossing over the immediate fact that we're not playing with the same player base we had as children. You have to compensate for the new player base, the new gens that are gonna hop online and find stupid shit. And all and behold, within 2 weeks, it's already showing and people are tired of it. The reason why they're patching the game now is because they kind of have to, because they don't want to start losing their player base before they even release their first DLC.
Yeah,
and don't get me wrong.
Which is crazy, like that we got all this and the first DLC hasn't even come out yet. We haven't gotten the new androids from the Super movie yet. And people are already getting tired of the nonsense. People are getting tired of the Gogetas, they're getting tired of the fusions, they're getting tired of all the nonsense. Now, me personally, I just say play DP Battle. Because DP Battle, honestly, is the problem solver. I don't really even count really playing the single battles at all when it comes to ranked. Because all you're going to see on there is just the Gogetas and whatever. The DP battles is where it's at, in my opinion. Because you're going to see a variety of characters. Maybe you might see a meta once you hit the top part, but when you're like down below or even in the middle, you're going to see some interesting stuff just due to how the DP system works. Because with the DP system, you can't just choose a bunch of fusion characters. And I've heard that there's even been some people, I've even seen Afro Sindri do it, where he'll literally choose somebody weak, like from the fucking Ginyu Force, like Captain Ginyu, and he'll wait until you bring out that Gogeta and switch the bodies. And I've seen some people rage quit when they do that, especially if they're playing a fusion player and they get their body taken. Oh my god, it's the funniest shit. It is the funniest shit, but I digress. The fact that the game is going through this because the community is being so, I would say, toxic right now, is kind of nuts. I don't know about the bigger creators. In fact, if anything, I think the funny part about this is that despite the fact that there was some drama around the content creation with the bigger creators, in my opinion, are the ones having fun with the game. I'm not saying the smaller ones ain't having fun either, but as far as content creation goes, because everybody's, in their mouth trying to make content with this game, it's like the smaller creators, mostly from what I've seen, a lot of them are just cloud chasing. A lot of them are just trying to get clips and call themselves the best, and there's very few that are actually just having fun with the game. Versus the larger creators, where they're kind of just having hella fun with the game. They're trying all sorts of new stuff. They're trying out freaking seven of fucking Cybermen and a bunch of other crazy stuff. I'm not seven Cybermen. You can only have so many people on your team, but you guys get the point. They're trying all the fun stuff out. Whereas with the newer gen people who are getting into the game, it's like the sweatiest, crazy. It's like comparing Call of Duty back then versus Call of Duty now, where it's like you gotta be doing all the fucking tricks, the slide cancels and the fucking crazy crap versus back then where it's a lot more simple. I'm not saying that new gens can't enjoy the game, but it's just getting to a point where it's getting so toxic and it's making the community just not fun to be in. At least for the time being. I feel like it can fix itself, but we'll just have to see in the future.
I'm tired of it. As a legit player myself, I do not play broken characters. That's just a physical limitation that I put on myself. It's not something that you necessarily have to do, but I feel like at a certain level, it's okay to play an OP character every once in a while. But if you're a player who hops online specifically just to play that character because you specifically know it'll give you the easier victory, you're sure.
And I'm just gonna say this now, and I've been pausing a lot. A lot of the people who be playing these OP characters are honestly carried by the character. I'm just gonna outright say it. A lot of the people who play once again, the Gojitas, the Fusions, they're just outright carried by a character. It's not because they're good, not saying not all of them are bad, but a lot of them are carried by the fact that that character can instant sparking, that their damage is obviously better than none other characters just because that's how the game is made, and it's not because of their skill. I'm just gonna say it outright. And we've seen this because there are a lot of people now catching on to how the fusions work and catching on how to all these OP characters work, and now you're seeing a bunch of people kick butt with like the Cybermen, with like Trunks. I've even seen one guy on TikTok. He's been whooping all these freezing characters just using the Goku from the Namek saga, which is crazy. So, hey, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna put it out there. I'm just gonna put it out there. A lot of y'all are getting carried by these fusions and all these OP characters.
It's as simple as that. You're Sherman, in my opinion. You don't have to put yourself to those limitations, but you have to understand how the dominoes fall. If you, as a player, do this non-stop, you have to realize how much it's going to affect the greater community. You're going to run into players who are old school heads and want to play Trunks, but they can't play Trunks because they damn near have 0% of winning against you in a game because Gogeta's OP, because After Images is crazy with Vegito. It's not the move that's the problem. It's the character that's being put on. That's the problem. And hold on. I already see you keyboard warriors typing. Give me a second. Oh, but that's my favorite character. Oh, but. Let me be honest with you guys. And this is where I call a lot of bullshit. Fusions have only shown up a very, very limited amount of episodes.
Yeah, nah. Fusions have only showed up in a couple of times, and that was when they had Janemba. That's where we got, of course, Vegito. Was it Vegito or Gogeta? No, I think it was Gogeta. No, it was Gogeta. So we got Gogeta when that happened, right? Vegito, which was Majin Buu. Then we got Gogeta again. No, actually, we got Vegito first against Zamasu. And then we got Gogeta again with the Super movie. So in total, we've only seen these two fusion characters a total of 2 times apiece. Now, obviously, I know that there's the Gogeta versus the Vegito meta, or the fan base out there. I know that's a thing. But there's no way in hell, especially if you didn't grow up with these characters, that y'all probably start talking about, oh, these are my favorites, and yada, yada, yada. Yeah, nah, that's a whole lot of cap. Because even me, I've been watching Dragon Ball since early 2000s, give or take. And I would have to say that even though I like Gogeta because he's my favorite fusion, he's not my favorite character by a long shot. Not by a long shot. He's in my top 5, probably top 10 favorite Dragon Ball characters. But my favorite character in the whole entire show is Typhon. And possibly even Trunks, and because they use swords. That is literally it. In fact, Trunks probably was my favorite before Typhon even showed up, because when he showed up, back when I was watching Dragon Ball, and he was cutting up Frieza to tiny pieces and then hit him with the Ki Blast, that sold it right there for me. Like, I liked Goku's transformation when he turned Super Saiyan for the first time. That will forever be iconic. But seeing Trunks walk in there and whoop Frieza like that will forever, not forever, no matter what they do with him in the future. They can keep him with Super Saiyan 2 for all I care. He will forever be my favorite character. Just due to the fact that he's one of the few Dragon Ball characters who not only knows martial arts, but uses a sword at the same damn time. That is just cool as hell. But I digress.
Episodes in a very limited amount of times in movies, all through Dragon Ball media. There's Dragon Ball, there's Dragon Ball GT, there's Dragon Ball Super, and there's Dragon
Oh
Ball
yeah, I
Z.
forgot about GT.
There
Yep.
is no way you are trying to convince me that
Vegeta didn't even
over
show up there.
1,000 characters shown all across the media, you just so happen when the game drops to suddenly like the character that is the easiest to play. I don't know what you're talking about, man. I was a fan of Dr. Willow since the movie came out.
Nope. Nobody liked him.
Matter of fact,
Nobody
the
liked
statue's
him.
right here in my bedroom. Yeah, look, I put him right next
I
to
will.
the statue of Android 19
No,
and 20
nobody.
before the game came out.
Nobody,
You know that
bro.
nigga lying, right? There seems to be a correlation. Either there's that small two
Bro, there was that probably 0.02% people who like the androids, and let alone Dr. Wheelio. There's no way y'all better tell me. There's no way. I bet none of y'all even know what movie Dr. Willio came from at all up until the trailer came out for the movie characters, bro. And I bet that I probably couldn't find nobody who knows what Dr. Willio's movie is right now. I don't remember that movie. That's how irrelevant he was until this game came out.
2% of you guys who are telling the truth, and that's genuinely your favorite character, because I do know a couple of people who genuinely like Vegito. I'm one of them. Vegito is one of my favorite characters, but I refuse to play him because then I'll just be one of the bunch, playing a character that's easy to win with. So if I do play Vegito, I'll skip Super Saiyan and just go to Blue, or I won't use After Image. But again, that's my personal nerf. You don't have to do that. There's a very small amount of people who will just blatantly admit, like, oh yeah, I just pick him because he's good, he's OP. Those are the player bases who I don't like, but I respect, because at least you will sit there and tell the truth. And then there's a small amount of player base that will cop out and say, nah, man, that's my favorite character. And there's a lot of y'all running around. This is where partially I kind of wish they nerf these characters, because then we're going to have the Storm Connections effect, where I remember Shino being everybody's first character when Storm Connections dropped. I remember for some monogamous reason, out of nowhere, Shino was everybody's favorite character. What you talking about, bro? I'm good at the game. Shino's my favorite character. He got passed, and suddenly there's not a
Yo,
single
nobody
Shino
playing him.
Connections.
Not a
That brings
single
me to
one.
the final point of the game, which is the reason
I
why
kind of wanted to do that just because I want to see how many people actually play Gogeta or any of these characters after they get nerfed. Like, imagine if Gogeta didn't have his instant sparking and didn't get the buffs they did whenever he went into instant sparking. Imagine that. Imagine how many Gogeta fans would just disappear off the face of the earth. Like, you probably wouldn't even see more than a couple of these things after that. Guaranteed.
current people are playing these OP characters is because they want to take the shortcut. That's obvious. They don't want to actually get good on the game. They want to see the win screen, and they want to feel good about themselves. And I'm not saying winning is everything, but come on, man. If I'm trying to play a game on my day off of work, and this is the only day I get to enjoy myself, I want to play Trunks, I want to play Pan. I can't hop on ranked for more than 5 minutes without running into the same character, and that's a problem because now you're corrupting the player base. That one guy who's off from work, drinking his cup, his Coke, sitting there, feet kicked up, trying to enjoy himself, bring back that old school feeling of Tenkaichi. He can't do it. Why? Because every match you gotta see the win screen, and you have to realize as a player, you're the problem. And that's just something that enough people aren't looking at. Everybody's blaming the devs, but nobody's looking at the actual problem, which is the other half of the player base that's spreading very quickly. Content creators are.
And crazy thing about this too is y'all don't realize that while there is a lot of a younger fan base that plays this game, a lot of the people who play this game, they got jobs, bro. A lot of the people who play this game, they're old as hell. Like, these people have even been around probably since the 90s or early 2000s. So, they're probably in their 20s or 30s at this point. Meaning, they don't got a million hours to grind this game out. They're just hopping online to have a good time. And every single time they hop online, they gotta come online to see basically the fusion mob or basically any OP character. And I'm not even saying that it's wrong to play those characters. You can do what you want, as he's saying in this video, but you just gotta realize that by doing all this crazy sweating for nothing, basically, because that's effectively what they're doing it for, is nothing, because there's nothing to gain out of being number one in this game at all. There's no tournaments, there's no nothing. Unless you decide to create your own, then it's just like, what is the point? What is the point? That's basically it. You know? And once again, I would love to see them nerf the fusion characters. Not a bunch, but just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just take out a couple, crazy things. Just to see how many so called fans of these characters there really were beforehand. It'd be funny to see. I'm not gonna lie to you. I really, me personally, don't want them to do that because obviously that wouldn't make the game Tenkaichi anymore. And the whole thing with this game is supposed to be that there's supposed to be characters that are basically scaled to the way they would be in the shows, but still. I digress. I mean, majority of the player base of this game is casual. There's no real competitive scene for this game. And if there is one, it's probably really, really small, but there is no real competitive scene for this game, which is why videos like this are even getting made in the first place, because this game was supposed to be made to have fun. You're supposed to have seen a lot of different characters, a lot of people playing a bunch of different kind of things and seeing some new stuff, but all we're seeing online is the same stuff because a lot of people are out there just being sweaty. And it's ruining the fan base, it's ruining the game. You got random beef for no reason talking nonsense. It's kind of nuts.
Also, a main reason why the community is in the state that it's in. And I say that because content is content. I'm not going to knock you, but I will say don't be a hypocrite. If you're going to upload a video saying, play this character now to win, do this to be broken, X, Y, and Z, this character is insane, don't pick him online, in parentheses, don't pick this character online, you really cannot be surprised when in 2 weeks the same character you're telling everybody not to pick because of the broken kit, everybody's now picking because of the broken kit. If you are one of the content creators out there, content is content, but I beg of you, please do not be a hypocrite and hop online and what's wrong with the community? This needs to be fixed. How did this happen? When you are a part of the problem. It's one of the biggest problems I've had in the past with the Storm community with gaslighting, and it's something I immensely cannot stand. At some point, you have to take some level of accountability, and I'm just not seeing enough of it.
These are also the same content creators that are going on social media and complaining about all the bugs and jank things in the game, such as spamming ultimates, instant level 3s, and even specifically complaining about characters. And then when you hop on their streams and videos, they're also using the exact same characters that they're complaining about. That's not just hypocrisy, that's literally blatant gaslighting. Most people don't follow their creators 24/7 and know exactly what they're doing, but if you pay close enough attention to a majority of creators, they're literally doing this. Like I said, I can understand if you're tired of being cheesed. I get it, it's annoying to fight, but if you're gonna stand on something, stand on your principles. No matter how many times I get cheesed with Goku, no matter how many times I get cheesed by a Gogeta, I'm not gonna be the next guy to hop on rank just to show everybody that I'm a Z rank based on the characters. Z rank means nothing. This game is fairly new and everybody's racing just to be ranked to flex it online, and then having the hypocrisy of saying that said characters are broken while getting to Z rank with the same said characters that they're complaining about.
Facts.
At the end of the day, what would you guys rather have? Getting to a rank that you're proud of legitimately, or following the rest of the curve, picking OP meta, and then hopping in matches and tournaments later in a public setting and being humiliated because you're a Z rank getting folded by someone who's B rank who actually learned the game.
And that's the crazy thing, is if this game was to ever get competitive and have active tournaments, and you got people who actually been playing the game versus those who've been just using the online meta characters, it would be embarrassing to see how many people would go walk into a tournament thinking they're all that because they were playing fusions just to get washed by a Cyberman or some shit. And I've seen that before. How I've seen people literally rage quit, complain about the game online, talking about how they're gonna quit the game because of this cheese, that cheese, and then you look at what character they're playing, and they're either playing some form of Gogeta, UI Goku, or any of the meta characters that was helping them get to the top in the first place. And it's funny as hell seeing that, because once again, these are the people who be out here disconnecting. I can't wait until Bandai puts that whole ban thing in effect. Because once they put that ban into effect, that ranking is about to start changing real fast. But I digress. I mean, once again, play who you want to play, but don't be complaining about cheese when you're playing the cheese, the forbidden cheese.
Just keep that in mind, content creators and people in general. Rank
means nothing. It looks cool on your screen. Yes, I know. The letter Z, it looks gold, it looks shiny. But again, if you don't understand your fundamentals and you're getting up there by cheese, make sure you're prepared for the repercussions because somebody's going to challenge you. There's going to be another creator who's going to ask you to collab. There's going to be another creator or a person in general who's going to ask you to play. And it would be a damn shame to see a Z rank get damn near perfected because they have no idea how to play the game and they took the shortcut. Just keep that in mind. But that's all I really wanted to say online and kind of give you guys a different perspective on what's happening in the community and why the game is like that. I'm tired of it. Believe me, I'm tired of it. But I'm just not going to fold under pressure. I'll play UI every once in a while. I'll play a Gogeta, I'll play a Vegito, but because I like the characters. I'm not going to play them more than 2, 3, 4 times, and then I'm going to switch it up because, again, there's 100 plus characters. I'm not going to play a character because they're easy, because I myself want to get fundamentally good. If you're one of those players, you don't have to hold yourself to the same standard that I do. I'm not a better person than you just because I play a different way, but you do have to take accountability at a certain level and realize, damn, I might actually be fucking up the community. So just keep that in mind. If you are a player who hops online every single game with these characters, you're a part of the problem, and you have to acknowledge that at a certain level. If you don't care, then you don't care. But this is just me giving my 2 cents on all these videos and polls and things going on in the community, and like I said, now that it's spilling into player match, I wasn't going to make the video initially, but now that it's spilling into player match, I've seen this movie before in Storm, and I really don't want to see it go that way. So I want to raise awareness and kind of hope people kind of change a little bit. Maybe, probably not. I doubt it. But
It ain't gonna change until the. It really ain't gonna change until you start seeing certain characters getting nerfed. That's literally the only way. Because unfortunately, in the landscape that we are in, especially when it comes to anime fighters, it's a combination of clout chasing, wanting to be on the top, and just not. I wouldn't say not having fun, but I would say I don't know how to put it anymore. I would say it's not even having fun. It's like being really sweaty for nothing. That's how I see it. It's just like being really sweaty for nothing. Like you said earlier, I could care less about what characters you play because me personally, I am a casual. I will gladly state I'm a casual. I'm nowhere near probably as good as a lot of people. I don't know actually because I've been practicing in practice mode. I've never really played online, but I can probably safely say I'm casual at best. But it'd be really, really funny for something like Afro sends you to host like a crazy ass tournament. Then you hop in there with Gogeta and get watched by somebody who's like D5. Probably never played online, but has been practicing in the lab. And it's like, what happened? you know? But either way, I would say pretty decent video. I would say that as far as the community goes, from what I've seen from larger creators, it's been pretty good. It's once again the smaller creators who a lot of them been clout chasing and talking about how they're the best of the game just to get washed, and then there's this whole drama and whatnot. Luckily, it hasn't gone too out of control, but as far as the online aspect goes, there's 100, 200 plus characters in this game. Now, obviously, just like you and me, just like me, you spent $110 to play this game. Now, did you play $110 just to play one character? Or did you pay $110 because there's 200 plus characters that you can play with in this game? And once again, like he said earlier, rank means absolutely nothing, especially in singles, where the only thing that you're going to be seeing a lot of is Gogetas and all the meta stuff. Like, are you really, really, really going to give up on the fun of playing all these different characters just to say that you're the best at a game for a short time? Because nobody's going to ever stay the best forever. And like he said earlier, with you being the best or claiming that you're the best, you will get challenged. And if the person that's better than you is using some weak character or saying how a high as ranked character, the humbling is going to be absolutely crazy. And ain't going to be nothing you can do because if you try and disconnect like you do normally, that's still an L. So I digress. But without further ado, I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Me personally, until Xbox servers get their stuff fixed, I'm probably gonna be in the training room or just making, other stuff for Dragon Ball Sparking Zero or even some other games. But without further ado, Shikai Shinobi signing off. I'll leave the link down to this video down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.